Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Greg, aka G Breezy, making it easy, back with another video. And what you just saw was a promo that I did for my first paid client. And I want to walk through start to finish, what I liked about it, what I didn't like, what the process was like. You guys let me know in the comments what you liked about it, where I can improve. But let's go ahead and get started. First of all, this was an impromptu shoot. Now, this client is an active client. We have a 4-video package. We had already shot in 2 previously. And so I just so happened to have my camera with me since I knew this was an active client. I actually went in for a massage. And then afterwards, she was like, hey, the nail tech is here. Did you want to go ahead and see if we can get some footage for that? I said, sure. So all I had was my Sony a7S III, the Sigma 24-70 lens. I just had natural light. I shot this in S-Log 3, and we're going to walk through and see how everything went. So I just want to say my strategy was to just get as much footage as possible to really capture the process. She didn't even get her nails done, actually. She kind of did something with her feet in the water. Her nails were already done, so all we could really show was a hand massage. If I were planning this out, I would have liked to have really shown the process of the nails and all that. But let's go ahead and look at this footage. So what you'll find, first of all, is the musical choice. And that's step one, is you want to choose music that fits the theme. Once I choose the music that fits, the next step for me is to put the footage in there and arrange it to the beat. You want to align it with the beat or the hi-hat, whatever really fits the tone. This is only a 30-second promo. I wanted to be a little bit fast-paced. I wanted to be inviting. I wanted to be exciting for the woman who's going in to get her nails done, right? And so basically, I put the music in there. I put the cuts in there. And the first scene is her walking in. Now, the client actually did not like her walk, right? Even though it's her walk, she walked in. But if you look on this log footage, and we won't show too much of it since she didn't like it, but she didn't really like her walk. And so what I did to kind of take away from that was I basically cut up the walk into really quick cuts to the point where you don't even see her take more than one stride at a time, right? And I also added an effect. If you look closely here, you can see that there's this effect that's kind of like blurry. That is the prism effect that I used for this particular footage, right? So I used this prism effect, had it on about 16. You see it here. And it kind of created a little bit of a blur. So that's all I did, was I did that. And then I added these image burns that I got from YC Imaging, right? And I added these in throughout the video here and there just to give it a little bit of pop. You want to give the client something that they can't really do on their own. You know what I mean? You want to give them something that shows them exactly what they're paying for. So let's go through this again. The other thing too with the walk, since I did not have my gimbal with me, I had to stabilize the footage. So I use Sony's active stabilization. Sony stabilization is okay, not great. I give it about a C. It's not on that Panasonic level. But anyway, I use the stabilization to try to stabilize the walk, active stabilization, as much as I can. And we'll get into color grading and effects after this. I also did some keyframes too. So she goes in. You see, I also added these effects here that I also got from YC Imaging. It's like these really quick light effects. He's always running a sale, so you can check out his page and all that. But it just kind of added a little bit of pop and a little bit of quickness to the shot. I wanted to be kind of exciting, right? So you'll see these quick flashes throughout the video. Okay, so she's going in. She's being greeted. Do want to say, beautiful women, by the way, but I do want to say this is a very small space. So I try to capture as much footage as I can, and I try to take away from the fact that it's such a small space to get your nails done. I wanted to look a little bit more inviting. I really like the window here. I honestly can't remember if I used my Black Pro Mist filter or not. I'm using it right now on this. I know I am. I think I probably had it on there, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know if we're getting some blooms or not, but let's keep going. Okay, just capturing a little bit of the process. Now, okay, so a couple things. This is the second revision. Client also did not like the way that her toes looked. So initially what I had was I had her water coming up out of, excuse me, her feet coming up out of the water. And then it was like showing her toes and showing a towel. But since she didn't like that, I had to like trim it. And I just went straight to the towel. But I think it still captures the effect. There, the foot is not in focus, so you can't see it as much. Nails, I really wanted these colors to pop, so I did a very saturated color grade. I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to talk about the color grading right now. I'm not any type of color grade expert, but basically my process is this, right? Usually it changes, but let's see if we can see what this looked like before the color grade. So I'm looking for the footage that says nail spread 60. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the S-Log3 flat profile. Kind of dull, just like S-Log3 always looks. That's how it's supposed to look, flat, so you can use its flexibility. But down here, I made them much more vibrant. I also zoomed in with some keyframes because I wanted to just really focus in on this nail polish. I wanted it to look vibrant because it's nails. Women love nails. They love the color. As a matter of fact, this entire video initially was a little bit more cinematic, a little bit more desaturated or muted. But when I did the final version, I just added a lot more color and saturation. So basically, you know, we saw what it looked like initially, right? But if we were to undo this, this is how it would look. And so I usually start with the highlights. I think we had these on about 47, and you'll begin to see the highlights here. Now, this is the exposure part. And then I did the shadows, right? The saturation is what you'll also see the percentages I have here, 73, 64, 73. But if we were to take this away, it goes flat again. But we'll do our 73 with the highlights, 73 with the shadows, and I can't remember what this was on, but somewhere in the 60s. And basically we have our color pop, right? We kind of get our color pop in, and that's what we want. You know what I mean? We want a little bit of excitement. We're in this Instagram generation, so we want to do it that way, right? By the way, I might do a version of this in the Instagram aspect ratio, but we'll see. All right, so that's like a highlight. This is a climax part of the song, right? So what you'll see here is it's kind of like slow. Then I did this keyframe in here, a zoom in, a keyframe in. Same thing with the foot on the pullback. I think this might have just been the pure footage by itself. But then you kind of had like this boom, boom, boom. So I did the use YC Images thing again, the horizontal one this time, and then the vertical one. I want to show her credentials there. You know, girl got her degree, she licensed and all that. I'm just being silly. And then on this part, I wanted to make this a little bit more saturated, but I just kind of zoomed in. I like this tool or whatever, cuticle care. I shot this manually. When you really start to pay attention to this stuff, you realize all the experts, they shoot a lot of stuff manually. So I was really intentional in certain shots about controlling the footage, not just using the autofocus, but also using just the manual. So I shot this manually to kind of come into focus. And once I did that, the climax here is what I used it for, was to capture this spray. I shot this in this buttery smooth 120 frames per second, and I slowed it down. You know, you slow 120 down, I think, to like 20% speed. I don't know if you can really see it here, but it's slowed down. And I added in a light transition, a flash transition here to really make it pop. And I also, let me see, what did I do with this? Let's actually see what I did. I added in glow. And I had the glow start from the beginning where that beat hits at 100%. So it's really, really bright. And then I just kind of toned it back down to normal, her normal color with the normal color grade. You see it gradually going down to 0 all the way to the end. And that's because I really wanted that part to climax. So I'm gonna let you hear that again with the music. More 120 frame per second slow motion here with the hand massage, and more color burns. I just did a long color burn at the end. It just kind of faded out. Of course, when you use these, you want to use the opacity. The opacity here is really low at only about 21%. And that's because I don't want it super bold. If it was bold at 100%, it would look like that. I don't want the color washed out, so I put it at like 21%. And yeah, that's basically it. Um, I added in the default text that Final Cut Pro provides. Um, Text is pretty straightforward. Y'all know how to do that. And then I just kind of fade it out. So let's watch that one last time in full. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything. Real quick, 30-second promo. You know what I mean? Got the job done. You guys let me know what you think. Just happy to have a paid client. As of right now, this is like a side gig. But listen, we're in this together. All right? Scrubs unite. So anyway, family, that's all I have in this tutorial. Make sure you check the playlist for other material. I'm going to try to get more videos out. But that's all I have for now. Hopefully you learned something from this. You all take care and be blessed.